with what looks likely to be a great game. We've got Cruzz versus HelpingHans.
Oh, yes. I think this is a big one. Hans has just beaten Joe. There's high expectations on the table right now. Everybody loves Hans as well. He's got a huge following in this community. So does Cruzzy, by the way. And so there's no sides here. I think this is just from the viewer perspective. This is a nice, friendly match to watch. But for these guys, you know,
this is brutal war at its finest. Today is, as I've mentioned, the culmination of 3 months competitive play. This is the ESL Grand Finals, or Go4 Season 1 Finals, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it Armageddon, because these guys today, if they lose, they're out, and they're not going to get their hands on the 1,300 euros first prize pot, which is massive, but also the opportunity to play at such a high stage for the foreseeable future. I mean, there's always stuff going on in the Coming Heroes 2 community. I will say that now. We've got a great competitive scene of fantastic players playing this really interesting real-time strategy game that, you know, has taken a little bit of a back foot to maybe StarCraft 2, etc., and MOBAs, but we've got such a great core community that are frenzied fanatics. They play this game in such a spectacular way with great micro tactics, strategies all coming in together to create fantastic warfare to watch. The games in this particular series always present an entertaining viewing. It's never the case where, oh, he lost in 5 minutes. No, we're always treated to these incredible, epic encounters. So grab a beer, sit down, and watch what we're about to show you, because this game truly is spectacular.
It really is, and Cruzzy, of course, playing as the Soviets. Now, I wasn't expecting Cruzzy to play Soviets. We normally see him go for something like the Brits, great Brit strategies from him. But of course, Soviets very, very strong in the 1v1 scene at the moment, and everybody's going to be taking this extra careful today. They're going to be making sure that they play their best factions. We can normally expect to see something, you know, very impressive from Cruzzy. Let's have a quick discussion, though, about his commanders, because I noticed some peculiar things in there. We've got Shock Rifle, great on Kolodny Firma, beautiful with the IS-2. We've got Advanced Warfare, which we don't really see that much of. You still get the 85s, PPSHs on the conscripts, which is really nice at the moment. Single strafing run, radio intercept, so could be a good one. But then again, Soviet Reserve Army.
We've seen a bit of this recently, especially in that 2v2 tournament. Aswag and Finnish compatriots of his, Cruzz being one of them, by the way. They do often use this Soviet reserve tactics, which allows you to spam, basically, for lack of a better word, conscripts in the mid to late game. You really start to gain critical mass and momentum. Hans being very aggressive in this early game. He's got his MG in the church. Do we have Molotovs teching? No, we do not.
We do, though.
Oh, we have them already built, that's why.
Ready techs at the moment. Probably going to go in on the church, force Hans out. I actually hope we get to see reserves, because against an austere faction, when you're looking at that light vehicle that comes in the scout car, I think those anti-tank partisans can pop out of the building and deal with that straight away. And I think we'll have an idea. If he techs to 18 aids, we might get in a suggestion of whether that's going to happen or not. Are we going to see another Molotov here? Yes, forcing Grenadiers out of the building.
Oh, on the doorway, but he gets out the opposite way. Great micro from HelpingHans. Great predictive play.
That's a good sign of when you get good players coming up against each other, because he knew where that Molotov was going. He spotted the animation. He could tell it was going for the door, not the building, and he reacted in exactly the right way.
Great flowing gameplay right now. We're not subjected to lots of Maxim machine guns suppressing everything. We've got infantry warfare at its finest. Free form, free-flowing combat.
Another thing to point out today is these infantry builds that we've seen. Heavy infantry builds. Both players, and really a lot of the games we've casted going for maybe 3 or 4 of the common infantry squads. We've got a 4 conscript build from Cruzzy right now, 2 engineers, so great capping power, great flanking power, going to be making use of all the things like the Molotovs, hopefully the 18-aids as well. HelpingHans, with the support of the MG, is kind of clawing back at the map with his Grenadiers. But I think he needs to get another support weapon out if he's going to start putting up with this amount of conscripts. It could be a second MG.
Could even be a sniper, you know.
Could even
Players like HelpingHans are great with snipers. Conscripts, classically, you don't want to use snipers against because they don't cost very much. But when you're a player like HelpingHans and you can keep microing the sniper and making it get you kills, you can really get work. So he's got multiple options.
Hans has got to be careful here. I think his MG is actually protecting a dropped flamethrower right now, and he's going to need to make sure his...
Oh, there you go!
Can cap it. Oh, and he was forced to get away. It's a shame, because he kept the MG in that engagement for long enough that he could stop everything from getting to it. But he had to get that retreat.
Very unlucky there from HelpingHans. He did lose his first squad loss of the game, was that Pioneer with the flamethrower. So he's not only that lost that, he's given the 60 munitions investment to his opponent. Right now, you'll notice he doesn't have any of his territories either. The victory point in the center and the cutoff in the northwest there, denying him pretty much anything.
Supply sector under attack.
Well, this is that quiet period. The attack, the relentless attack, has gone down from Cruzz a little bit. And this is where Hans has to get what he has together, focus on a direction, and create some kind of play to get some territory back. Cruzz is pretty much ripped through so much of the map right now that Hans just has to pick a new direction. He can either go back to take off all the fuel on the north, which I think is the sensible idea for Axis on this map, because it's the best place for them to hold and the most open ground. Mid and north.
It does. I mean, in the south, you've got so many hedgerows that are shot blockers to Wehrmacht. Wehrmacht rely on open territories, Dan right. They mentioned packs, machine guns, snipers all require line of sight in order to be truly effective. Not that we're even seeing much of that for HelpingHans, but that is their faction and that's how it plays.
And of course, Cruzz, what he's done is on a map like this where he will be forcing Hans to fight on that territory in the north, the open territory. He's gone for the 4 conscript build, which means he's going to be able to flank those. He's got Ura, he can run fast behind the lines of the MG, and Hans hasn't really responded to that. He's actually just stuck with reinforcing these grenadiers. Another MG could have helped him lock down some serious territory, but he just hasn't gone for it yet.
Finnish mine in the south from Cruzz, pushing away Hans. Well, it's a Soviet mine, but he's a Finn, so that's why I said Finnish. And as I say, look at the control from Cruzz. He's really pushing Hans back. Now we see the scout core, however, is going to be able to possibly offer Hans some alternatives.
Well, again, that's a difficult one. We may see this is the point. If it drives a little bit too far, maybe gets a little bit too close to one of those buildings, just check the Soviet tier. Does he have 18 aids currently down at the moment? He doesn't.
As soon as he saw the scout core, though, he clicked them straight away, so that's good.
This is a sign to me that Cruzz is about to impress us with something, and I think it's going to be the reserve army. This is the kind of sign. It looks like, was that cancelled again?
Oh, the...
I think he's going back and forth. Yeah, he cancelled this.
Well, he's got tier 3 up now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was building it. I think he
Look at his fuel as well. He's got 70 fuel just when he constructed tier 3. So that is the timing of high-level play. That is 3 months of ESL, but also Cruzz being the statistician that we know him to be. He knew what, well, my fuel isn't going to quite work out here. I'll cancel at 80 grenades despite it being the obvious choice against the scout car. And instead, he's going to get his T-70 straight onto the field within just under 9 minutes, which in competitive play is actually quite good recently.
I really, really liked that we just saw all of his decision-making up front then. I really, really like that because you saw 18 aids, and then it's like, I'm going to cancel that and get the T-70 on time, because otherwise, he would have delayed that T-70 by, maybe like 3 or 4 minutes.
And this is why Company Heroes is such a great game. There's so many foibles, so many little tiny avenues of thought, and it's a very difficult game to play at high level. I'm talking, we've had StarCraft 2 players come and try and break into the scene when there's been big prize pools and fail miserably. Because not only does it cry high levels of micro and build orders, but you've got so many different tangibles to take into account. Every single weapon is a Unreal Engine based kind of projectile calculation. So there's so much random number generation, but also positional tactical elements that you have to take into account. And every single unit has upgrades. It's just so difficult to play at a high level. That's why it's truly beautiful to watch. It's also very cheap on Steam right now, so if you want to join in, I'm not just being a shill for Relic, the guys that made this. I love this series, and you can pick up this uber cheap. You don't have to buy too much of the DLC to be competitive. You can really have a good laugh with it.
Look at this infantry push from Cruzz. Nice Molotov in the house again, forcing pretty pivotal building there. Lost for Hans. Where is this MG? I just don't understand. The suppression needs to come in. Scout car's not going to be able to do it alone. 118 aid with the Ura, with the T-70 coming in for support, could be the end of that scout car, and that would really start to be the end of Hans. He needs to be so careful with that. I can probably see why he's opting not to give away the building in the middle, making sure his MG's always in there, but he is going to lose this territory. He's going to be so behind on resources. I think he's going to get forced into playing mobile defense at this rate.
Yes, he may well do that. If he can keep surviving the onslaught, though, he could push for something further. He's not actually lost that many victory points yet. He's only lost 600 of his original 500 tickers. So he may be able to do it. Pack in position, MG in position. He can control what's in front of him now. The T7 is going to get a rude awakening. There you go.
She decided to set up first. No Grenadiers around to provide the Faust. The AT gun hasn't made a decision to turn just yet.
Here comes the urban assault conscripts with their flamethrower.
This is that new commander we were talking about.
Exactly.
Panzer Grenadiers now as well. I think Panzer Grenadiers a very good idea here, actually. I do like the decision with Panzer Grenadiers, and they will, provided he can keep them alive, become the mobile AT when they get that 120 munitions. They can start to deal with the T-70. That's actually going to be something that could stop him from having to go mobile defense here. Scout Cousin's in dangerous territory.
Big shot in front of the pack. T-70 doesn't even have to... No, it's already used auto repair.
That's it.
Can't do it at the moment. There he goes. He gets the kill.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Oh.
Nice.
I love just watching that happen. That's brilliant. I mean, very lucky not to get a squad wipe with those. Normally they're a little more clumped together. Yeah, great pick up the T-70. That's a big win for Hans there. That was the unit that's kind of menacing to him. He can now reliably deal with the infantry. He's going for another squad of Panzer Grenadiers as well, so conscripts aren't going to be able to do that rushing in thing for much longer. They're not going to have that flexibility to just run around and be careless. They do have to pick their engagements a little more now. Interested to see what Cruzz does in reaction to this. He doesn't have the fuel at the moment. Has he gone up? He has gone up to tier 4, I believe. So wonder what Cruzz's next build is going to be.
Well, as you say, he's got no fuel, so he's getting a maximum instead, and he'll probably get a Ziskel to help him deal with the 2-2 and anything else that Hans is going to be building in the next 10 minutes. So he's going to have a stable platform. Hans has got a stable platform. The only thing that's in Cruzz's favour is victory points and a little bit more territory control right now, but that could very rapidly change. Conscripts taking up a sustained fire position against the Grenadiers behind heavy cover. These conscripts go in, they have got Molotovs teched.
Scout car might be a bit of a heated engagement there.
Kiting around, doing damage, doing all the scout cars do best. Attain veterancy too, so that'll be better lines of sight in the future.
This commitment to denying the strategic point is really, really good. The constant denial of resources for Hans. And yeah, Hans is a player that has just beaten Jove, beaten the #1 seed for sure out of this tournament. He's got to be feeling good about himself right now. However, he needs to keep it together to play this game because the tournament is only just beginning for him. And he does not want to give Cruzz game 1 at all.
It's like you gave him insurmountable odds. Hans had to beat Barton to get here. And then... No, Talisman to get here, and now he's had to go through the #1 seed and arguably best player in the game right now, Jove. And now he finds himself up against a Cruzz that is out for dominance. He's had to play Marlborough Man today, which is Don't Know, the auto match player, so it's not exactly top draw, elite level tournament stuff. So Cruzz is arguably a little bit more well rested, laying a demo there, we'll have to keep an eye on that, a little bit more well rested, and Hans has just come through hell to get here.
Oh, is this... Really? Oh no. Well, Cruzz is going to
Will he see it? He won't see it.
No.
Panzer Grenadier fireworks.
Still
he gets the kill anyway. There you go, even though it had gone past the target slightly. Elsewhere, we've had concerted fire on the Panzer Grenadiers, one of which has just died to the demo, which was quite splendid to see when you see the flailing limbs and guts and various pieces go a bit about the screen.
Cruzz has locked in with the advanced warfare doctrine, so he's going to be able to get... now that plane at the end, you'll notice it doesn't have the symbol for loiter. It is a single strafe. However, it's still very, very effective and is good against vehicles if you manage to get it on the strafe, the light vehicles. He's going to have radio intercept, so he's going to know if Hans has gone for that mobile defense or not. And I guess that's going to be really the decision for his first unit out of tier 4.
He's got PPSHs straight away on this conscript. Not that it's doing that much about it, but... yeah.
There you go. You can actually hear now the
Yes,
radio
I
intercept
heard
coming
that.
in. So what you're hearing in the headphones right now, that is exactly what Cruzz is hearing. He's hearing all of Hans's builds that come in, and he's going to be able to provide decent counters for this. Now, Stormgeschütz, now that is the sign that Hans, he not only got the unit, he now knows Hans's doctrine choice, mechanized assault. So Cruzz is going to be all over this. Cruzz goes straight in with an AT gun. This is exactly what Cruzz is good at. He's a man of knowledge. He's picked up on all those little things straight into the AT gun. I wonder what his first build's going to be. Maybe he's going to go AT guns to the Katyushas, or maybe we're going to see something like the T-34.
We could indeed. We could also see an Su-85, which would obliterate Stuggies and anything else that Hans could build in terms of armor. North is finally getting that victory point back in the centre. It's all about the concerted fire on the Stuggy, which will be good at clearing this house. He will have to get out of there eventually. But this isn't in position, only having just been built. There you go, Dan. T-3476 is the unit of choice. Second time we've seen that a row in this game.
Wait, I think that's actually the 85. We may have to have a look at that one. I believe
very
the
true.
85
Yeah,
is
very
the one
true.
that's coming out. The 85 here is going to be lethal. We do not have... Hans is only just about coming up 120 munitions, which I hope he spends on Panzerschrecks for his Panzer Grenadiers. But the 85 could still wreck that four-man squad. It would have to take maybe like three rounds basically from those Shreks before it goes down. There's one AT gun. It's a difficult situation for Hans right now, but at least he's getting some control over the map back. If he can maybe get the Stug E to Vet 1, he then has access to a target weak point, a stun shot for that tank. He may be able to work something out, but Cruzz is slowly tightening the noose on Hans at this point.
Yes, Panzerschrecks are indeed upgrading on the Panzer Grenadiers, so that will be helping Hans's defense against this, not just the pack. Scout Call will be able to scout for the pack as well. That's an interesting dynamic we'll have to keep on the lookout for. It's a great unit when it attains veterancy for that very reason.
Cruzz there putting some mines outside of the church, I believe. He's going to stop any kind of push from Hans whatsoever. We've got Stug E trying to... What's this engagement on the south down there? There we go. Tons of conscripts. And again, this is not what Cruzz wants to be doing. Loses a squad there. Easy targets. But it seems like it was just the bait for the T-3485 to roll in.
It does, however, take some Panzerschreck fire down the rear. You've got BPSHs coming out for the Panzer Grenadiers. They can't reliably stay in that conflict. They have to dart out of the building, but now they're facing down the T-34's frontal armor. Nice micro from Hans. Good assault from Cruzz. These players are very well matched indeed.
There we go. Hans lost a squad there. Looks like it was Grenadiers that went down. Cruzz will get away with the T-3485.
Nice foray though, Dan, but well met by Hans.
Want to see that AT gun get to work now. Scout car's coming in to provide vision. The Stuggy isn't going to be able to penetrate from the front. However, it should be able to defend against all these infantry that are now charging that very important AT gun. Another Stug E. He's gone for the double Stug E's.
Yeah, he's doubling up on these things. He wants the anti-infantry presence. He's got two packs, so he does have synergy in that sense. It's all going to be how Cruzz plays against him.
I think here we're actually starting to see Hans with reliable strategy to counter this. I think Hans is someone who's played against these kind of things before many a time. The double Stuggies, they're going to do well against this huge infantry bill of Cruzzes.
Here we go. First of the Sturmovik attacks. Now renamed the tactical Sturmovik attack to make sure we know it's a strafe. Yeah, that was an interesting dynamic there. Neither player, they both drew blood, but they didn't get any knockout blows upon their opponents. And it does set the stage very well for the next 10 minutes of play. How are we going to see the T-3485 perform once it's repaired? What's it going to be met with? We've got two packs, two Stug E's. Where's Hans going to go from there? He's probably not even going to require Tier 3 or Tier 4. Going to go straight for a Tiger, most likely. So this game is well poised, and I'm very eager to see what happens.
This looks very good for Hans right now. Of course, knowing the advanced warfare is picked makes Hans' teching very confident now. He has no risk. He knows that there's not that marked target. Look at that kill with the Stug E! Absolutely beautiful. Well played, Hans. And he just went straight in for that. It's worth even losing the Stug E just for that.
Well, that's so cheap. Look at the price of that thing. 275 fuel. And he just took a 130 fuel tank. And now finds himself against no armor whatsoever. Also taking a shot at the mortar that just attained Veterancy 2, having laid a mortar round against the assault gun, and nearly wiping the Veterancy. Yes, he does indeed! What a find for the Stuggy. Now it's the Ziskin that's going to try and find the angle on him, but he's darting around this wreck of a building.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be very surprised if he's able to save this, but I know he's going to try anyway.
Yeah, he's going to try just to frustrate his opponent even more. Oh, here he goes! Oh!
Nah, he's pretty corded in there, but you know, whilst all this is going on, he has map control. He's going to be able to go all the way around. Look how much Cruzz had to put in just to
what
get
a
in that
hero!
Stuggy,
And as you say, he's managed to cap the entirety of the north sector, and that Stuggy more than paid for itself. And it now puts Cruzz in a little bit of a difficult situation. I mean, one T-34-85 is great in the middle passage of the game, but in the late game you need more than one. You need more than one because you're up against a Tiger, and he's already had his first one, the one that had attained Veterancy 1, destroyed by a rampant commando Stuggy. Look at this prepared line from Hans Dan. It's one big prepared position for Cruzz to throw himself against.
Well, both players still have fairly balanced armies at this point. I mean, it's not going to be that difficult for Cruzz with the 2 AT guns to take down that Stuggy and the scout car. So it's not particularly, you know, difficult for Cruzz to get a comeback in this at this point. He's also rocking a lot of fuel. I think he's gone for another T-34-85 there. You know, his engagements against the Grenadiers, he should be winning those with the PPSHs. You know, Panzerschrecks now no longer have targets. 2 of the squad members of a Panzer Grenadier squad, and now with
largely
Schrecks,
vacant.
yeah, so you know they're not going to be doing that high DPS damage at close range. That means the conscripts have a little more room to run around as they were before. So you know there is time for Cruzz to get back in this. He's got to be a lot more careful than he has been, though. He's
I mean,
now
that's what Company Heroes 2 presents to players. If you think you're out, just try and sustain the fire and try and work around it, because there are combat mechanics that can help you get back into this game. More Pioneers for Hans. What's the thought behind that, do you reckon, Dan?
Possibly Minesweeper. I think maybe Territory Capture and Minesweeper. He's got one that he's using to Minesweeper now, as you see. That's going to be the capping unit. He doesn't want to lose squads to mines. And the other one's probably going to be just background repairs, I imagine.
Yeah, okay, so it's all about utility and capping for HelpingHans. He's lost 2 of his original 3 Grenadiers, so he's had to build cheap Pioneers to make up for it. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and you can see as well, you know, there's a pro play here because he's taking the scout car around with the Minesweepers. It's an important vehicle to him. It's Vet 2, so the sight range that comes off of that is incredibly large, and that's going to be very beneficial to him later on in the game.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Looks like Cruzz is pushing into the centre. He is well met by this MG and the Stuggy giving covering fire. In the north, Cruzz is again trying to push out. A little bit wary of what's around there, though. There we go, he swings into action.
Enemy is taking our territory.
I think what we're going to need to see from Cruzz here is something like an Su-85. I think we'll see that at one point. I doubt it's going to be reliant on Su-76s, although it could do that job. The Su-85, protected by T-34-85s and the AT guns, is going to be very difficult for Hans to beat. It is one of the counters to the Mechanized Assault in the fact that it doesn't have off-map air support. You know, there's no way that Hans is going to be going up to Tier 4, really, for any of those counters. So the Su-85 will be pretty dominant, supported by that T-34.
Talking of which, it's just Etten, a Pack 40 shot, misses the second one with a handy reverse. Stuggy was going to come up to add some insult to injury in the meantime. A lot of games on Holodny Firma today, but it's because it's one of the best maps. When CoH2 first came out in 2013, we were treated with such joys as Pripyat Winter and the Moscow Outskirts 1v1. This was the first true 1v1 map made by Relic Entertainment for the game, and it's been a keeper, Dan.
It has, yeah. I actually really enjoyed this map. It's got open ground, close quarters, good negative cover points. There's just a lot going on with it. You know, the cutoffs are deep in your opponent's territory, so you earn them. They're not easy. I really, really like it.
Yeah, it's one of the true great additions, that Faymanville approach. You've got a really nice cabal of 1v1 maps now, actually. I think they're pretty much sorted, especially when Arnhem Checkpoint gets a little bit of love. It's just called Checkpoint now. It's not Arnhem Checkpoint. What's it called? Crossroads, Argentine Crossroads. That's just entered rotation. Really great map by White Flash Reborn. I'd love to see that in tournament play in the future.
Well, the Katusha is now on the field. My favourite unit is right here. We'll see the damage that Cruzz can do with this, and I have to assume that Cruzz is taking this on to deal with the AT guns. That's going to allow him to go in with the 85 and try and deal with basically the scout car and the Stuggy before Hans can get up to that Tiger. And that Tiger's not far off now. He's unlocked it. About 50, maybe 60 fuel to go on that.
Katusha is going to be a bit of a menace for HelpingHans. Every time he hears it, he's going to have to reposition, think about what he's doing. Oh, nice shot from the T-34-85.
Yeah, great pickup with that. And again, that's Hans losing his massive sight range that you get with that scout car. So he's going to have less of an ability to scout with the AT guns now. There we go, the first of those Katyushas.
Picking up on the mortar, a bit of an overkill mortar counter in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the other thing with the Katyushas, and we always say this, and people always do it. People, you know, the radius of fire, you know, the radius of rockets gets a lot smaller the closer you are to the target, and we always see a lot of these top players, they're always firing at max range, I guess because they're microing so much they don't want to risk losing it.
No.
But, you know, the disadvantage of that, of course, is that the radius is so far, you don't always get that impact damage that you want. If Cruzz can find a way to get that Katusha closer up to the lines and fire it on something like the AT gun, he will guaranteed wipe that, and that will be a big win for him. But he needs to get that T-34 protecting it whilst it's doing its fire. That would be a great win for him. But I really like that Cruzzy's still every bit in this game right now. He really, really is.
Look at this as well. 3 packs from HelpingHans. And let me talk about HelpingHans as a player. He's always, as Wehrmacht in particular, been renowned for that long strangulation line of play. And what he tries to do with it, the pack wall, you may want to call it, is push your opponent back continuously. And as soon as they have to retreat, you inch closer to them. And you basically tighten a noose in the late game. So after the 30-minute mark, be on the lookout for HelpingHans gaining control from his opponent. It is a slow way of playing though, Dan. It's very tentative. You don't make big plays. You just try and push your opponent back. So it's all about the aggression of Cruzz and whether he's able to break it.
Good. Having a look, I think we might be coming up with that Tiger. I'm not sure if he's actually got pop cap for it at the moment.
It's 19.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So he's pretty actually perfectly on his army potential at the moment.
Yeah, this will be very nice. Feather to his cap.
Katusha fire again. Where's it going? He's really desperate to deal with that mortar. Clearly, it's causing some kind of problem for him. May get a lucky wipe as well on the AT gun if one of those rockets strays. Oh, just hits the position that it moved from. Very unfortunate, but once again, long range fire from that. Shouldn't be expecting too much if he's going to use it that way.
And if anything, it's just delayed the Su-85. Anti-tank grenade goes in, but of course doesn't do much at all.
No,
I full health.
To see that from Cruzzy annoys me because everybody knows that you will not get engine damage with those unless it's got a certain amount of health loss. Cruzzy using that, we see every top player.
Oh come on, he is in the middle of a tournament. I mean, have you ever got this far in a tournament?
No.
Exactly, me neither. And I know I've only played one best of 3 and it like knackered me. I was so tired. These guys are warriors and I always forgive them when I see little tiny errors such as that, to be honest. It's a small thing, I guess. But it matters a lot because now that it wasn't a snare, it was just like a glancing blow.
Very beautiful. Of course, Cruzzy's got some mines down. He has been a little bit prepared for this. He's probably preparing for that Tiger to rush in, but Hans knows better. Su-85 was nearly built then by Cruzzy, and he cancelled it right at the last second. Then he went for an T-34-85. Now he's gone for a Katusha. He's just flicking through all the options right now. And I think that's probably what whilst he's making a decision, it may as well be in the build. Why is he going for a second Katusha right now?
Well, you've got one Stalin organ playing the Orchestra of Death. Why not another? Make it into, the Cruzz Symphony duo. Anyway.
I mean, the thing with that, I guess I can see what he's trying to do. It will cause a lot of problems for any static
there's the packs, man. There's 3 of them.
3 packs, 2 MGs, and a mortar. Indirect fire seems like the right thing to do, for sure. He's got the 2 AT guns to protect against that Tiger. I'm just worried, Hans could just topple it, and then the Katyushas are very easy to deal with.
Yeah, he's got 2 Tiskans though, so he can keep his opponent back. I tell you what though, the Panzer Shreks with the Panzer Grenadiers with their Panzer Shreks will be a bit of a danger for the Katyushas, especially if they start trying to flank around it and do mischief. Yeah, I was going to go on about, Tigers and Mines. There's such a funny Hans Co-1 story. He got a King Tiger as Wehrmacht in a big tournament game that he was streaming actually, and the King Tiger got a destroyed engine in enemy territory, and it had only been on the battlefield for 30 seconds. It was hilarious. One of the biggest rage moments in Company of Heroes series history was that. It was on YouTube, I think, at some point.
Sturmovik close air support is available.
Sturmovik's available, should he want it. Flying tank. Your Sturmovik means in Russian, Dan. It means attack.
Does it actually?
Yeah, it just means attack, so it's an attack plane. There are a few Sturmoviks, not just the IL-2.
Oh, I think Hans just took a big hit from the Katusha on his MG then. One of them's nearly gone down. Needs to be careful because that one's a Vet 2. That one's going to be doing a lot of...
there we go, it was up north. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of work against those conscripts. And of course now, Cruzz may have spotted that the north's a little weak here. Maybe a good opportunity for some kind of flanking operation.
Oh, there you go, the Sturmovik coming down. Range of fire there. Spotted for by the combat engineers. Stuggy's going to come back to parry. Well, like the north has been exploited, it lies dormant. A telemine there, by the way, need to keep an eye on that.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Fantastic battle, though. This is what Company Heroes is all about.
Yeah, it is. And of course, they're both coming up to 100 pop cap now, which means there ain't nothing else you can build. You just have to go. This is when the plays are made. You know, both players have spent all of this time, 30 minutes, getting hold of that army that they think is going to carry them through. They've assessed each other's builds. Cruzzy's probably got the better build right now in actually, you know, dealing with Hans. He's going to be able to wipe a lot more static with those Katyushas. He just needs to make sure the positioning is good with the AT, and then that T-3485 gets some good groundings in on there. I personally think the 85 may have been...
point blank Katusha round. He's going to have to... Yes, Hans showing his strength here. Instead of retreating through it, he's going into the shed to go around it. Great play by him, but he might suffer for it because here comes the advance of Cruzz's army. He's going in for the Tiger, which has been damaged.
Yeah, this is a good one. He's got to get the AT guns going up pretty quickly. He should be able to get some more nades off. He's got 200 munitions to spend on that. Taking pot shots. I'm not sure what 85 is targeting there, trying to get the Panzerstrecks away. Smoke has been put down by Hans's mortar in an attempt to defend the Tiger. It's a pretty intense moment right now. Then comes the Katusha trying to clear the support weapons off. Maybe Cruzzy's going to go in for another attack, but he doesn't quite have everything he needs at the moment. There's suppression going down. Stug E needs to possibly get some kind of target weak shot on the 85 to protect that Tiger. 80 gun ripping through, but it looks like Hans managed to repair that in time. Cruzzy loses the 85, and that's a big loss for him.
He's
got to
also lost his Katusha as well, one of. That did not go well for Cruzz. That's what I'm talking about. HelpingHans' prepared position play. It's a trap! It genuinely was and is a trap. When you make a prepared position, you put your weapons that have lines of fire in overarching positions. It's called deep battle. You allow your opponent to thrust upon you, and this is the scene. This is where Cruzz attacked, and Hans was waiting for him, and it did not go well overall. He was the master stroke with the smoke as well, Dan, you've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, the smoke, this is something, again, top-level play. The second that came in, Hans popped the smoke on just so that the AT guns couldn't get that shot without using attack ground. And of course, you can still get the Tiger through the smoke. You just have to put that extra little bit of micro in and forcing your opponent to do that. Great play. Again, here we go, the Su-85. I think this is a really, really good decision to go over the T-3485, especially, you know, there's a good targets for it. It's long range. He's got sight with the infantry. If he can get Vet 2, he has an absolute beast-killing machine there that is easily going to be able to rip through that Tiger.
Yes, the Su-85 is a veterancy-reliant vehicle. It's a little bit ponderous at first. You do need to support it. You can't just rely on it to kill tanks, but as soon as it starts attaining veterancy, it becomes a killing machine. Tiger is very much the same, Dan. It's you need to get that veterancy, but it does take a hell of a long time.
Yeah, it's nice that those kind of things have been removed as god units, because you can't just bring them onto field and expect to have success for them. You have to really, you know, work them hard and get the benefits from them, and the game is all about those kind of veterancies, all about those abilities and things that you unlock as it goes across. Now, the Veterancy 2 from the Su-85 is where it starts to get interesting, because on Veterancy 2, that's when you get the increased rate of fire and accuracy. Veterancy 3 is an improved, again, it fires with greater range and frequency, so that is when it's like, you know, providing provided that you get that engine damage, you will be able to shred that Tiger. And whilst, you know, in a majority of situations, maybe, you know, I can see in chat, people may not agree SU-85 the greatest idea. When you're playing against these units, one of the units doesn't have turrets, the Stuggies. The other one is a Tiger that's very slow, but is good armor.
What do they expect? He's already lost two T-3485s now, hasn't he?
This is the designated option, yeah.
It's the only option he's got available to him. Had he kept the T-3485s alive, he'd have critical mass. He'd be able to go with them and use them to swarm the Tiger. That is not an option anymore. Now he's got to use combined arms tactics and the long-range anti-tank of the Su-85. The map, as you may well see, is now in HelpingHans' favour in quite a large way. The one remaining Katyusha is now coming to bear again on the MG42, but to be honest, the Katyushas have only really done terraforming here, trying to make the Holodny Firma into a moonscape, seemingly. It's pretty much their biggest contribution to this battle.
The VPs have been back and forth as well. Only just has Hans really tipped into the lead in the VPs, but he's not even far in the lead. He's only got a double cap at the moment, and neither player has been able to secure a triple since the start of the game, when Cruzz was seemingly all over Hans. Hans' recovery has been top-notch on this, really has been. There we go, actually, Hans has ventured down to the south. His army's spread out, might be a bit too thin. Could be a good opportunity for Cruzz to go in.
That's exactly right. When Hans plays in this fashion with Wehrmacht, it is the case that he likes to try and lock down two sectors and push, mainly in the open ground. As he starts to spread himself thin, he is susceptible to opening up with vulnerabilities.
Great suppression from that MG there as well. He's actually targeted all of those squads.
Look at that.
To get the maximum suppression that he can.
That's a big retreat as well, because now that's going to allow Hans to keep pushing. And that's what I was talking about 10 minutes ago when I said in 10 minutes of time, if he pushes Cruzz back, he can really start to push up with the overarching support weapons and basically put the CoH down on his opponent.
Now we got T-70 in the build as well. I'm surprised that Cruzz is going to fill the last remainder of his pop cap with a T-70, because this is going to limit him to get any more T-34s.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, let's have a look at the pop cap differential between those two units. It's 8 for the T-70, but I'm pretty sure it's not too much more for the T-14. So you can kind of see that 6 pop cap difference. But then again, yeah, I agree. Should have gone for a T-3485. It can flank, it can protect the VPs in the south and the north just as well, but it can actually offer a killing blow to the Tiger, whereas the T-70 can't do anything.
No, the T-70 though, it's very best. I mean, it's going to be able to go right up the north, navigate around the AT guns, cause some damage, possibly even pull the Tiger off the mid, which could be his reasoning for doing that. There we go, finally AT gun cleared by the Katyusha. It's starting to get some groundwork in now.
But here comes the light artillery barrage onto the support weapons themselves, so it's tit-for-tat gameplay right now. What's this here? The Scout car's going all the way around for the Katyusha.
Oh,
great find by HelpingHans. This Katyusha does not stand a chance against the autocannon. 2-2 destruction.
Great idea from Hans there to go around and get that. That's got to be a blow for Cruzz. He's lost both of those Katyushas. They are not inexpensive. He could actually go for the Su-85 here. I'm surprised he's not, because the AT gun hasn't turned. It's a fixed turret. He could get those rear armor shots. Instead, he decides to drive away. That was a mistake, but he
know what he was going for. He was going to try and get the veterancy off that Zis. It was very much like that Stug E earlier in the game. You know, the one that killed the mortar as its last thing. He's making plays, and that's what makes his current standard of play so great. He is doing this slow kind of building wall play, but he makes aggressive plays when he needs to, and it's making for great viewing, and it's making for a very successful HelpingHans.
Look at this build order coming in.
Oh!
Hans is going to go. And I think this is a good thing, actually, because he needs to be careful with the 18 nades, but he could just do this the whole game. He's just got to get something that can go and distract Cruzz off of the off the southern point. Maybe keep him occupied there. He's got such dominance now over the north and mid. It's going to be very difficult for Cruzz to break.
That's what that's called when you're building two Zvions Zandstigs.
Oh, I've heard.
The joke! It's
Magpie.
the joke! The joke of ESL.
I thought ESL was the joke of ESL.
Oh no, that's the NA scene.
No, we do have a friendly relationship with the NA.
Yeah, it's like the friendly relationship of the crew of the Titanic and the Titanic's tugboat.
scout car has arrived.
But we're about to hit an iceberg, and that iceberg is the finals of today. It's going to be huge. It's going to be dominating. And the reason being is because Company Heroes 2 has been on a massive journey since its release. Relic promised this big ESL series, and we finally had it, and this looks likely to be the last tournament of that said series. So it's a big one today, Dan.
Yeah, it really is, and the person that wins this gets to take a pretty big trophy home, I think. It's been grueling, hasn't it, really, the last couple of months. We've been here every...
It is a metaphorical trophy, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
And every week, you know, we've been here watching this, supporting these guys, watching them develop. The skill level has just gone up massively.
Skyrocketed. It genuinely has. I mean, I always point to OCF. In that tournament, you got DevM and Aimstrong were just able to waltz in 2 months of practice as USF and win the damn thing and do it in style. Like, they weren't even hardly bothered on their way to the final. DevM had the harder course, Aimstrong had the seed. But
You're
now
about to miss a great pickup there, by the way. Stuggy's going in for that T70, but it looks like SU85 getting very, very brave, going to come around and try and get some shots on the Stuggy. Now, this could be a good one, because getting those shots off could mean that he could start to build up the veterancy. What is he doing?
Can't do it! The angle, its turning circle is so low. It's preposterous, absolutely preposterous. This 222, by the way, has been on a journey. It's killed a vehicle. Did it kill another Katusha?
It possibly did, yeah. Look at this. He should probably consider... There we go. He's going to have to reverse and turn to get the angle that he needs to deal with this scout car.
It's like watching your granny try and do a three-point turn. This is horrendous from the SU-85. It looks like incendiary rounds get the kill, however.
Yeah, again, like, now people... This is the shame that people are getting a bad impression of the SU-85 now. That is poor micro.
That was terrible.
That is not what the SU-85... The SU-85 is capable of so much more.
I'll take this specialist unit that can't turn within, you know, a baseball field and try and maneuver it around the hedgerows of southern Russia. It just did not work.
End of the line, it shouldn't really be on that area of the map. It is built for large, long-range engagements, and you know, he's building another 85, by the way, so he could be using that over there.
Well, it's as I say, it's its only option in this current dynamic against the Tiger and the Stug. What a great game, though.
There we go, Conscripts moving around. They're trying not to clump up because they could take that piercing shot. It would wipe the entire squad from that Stuggy. So there we go, finally getting the squad to spread out position. They do take suppression, though. It's going to be very, very easy. It looks like the 85 is trying to get some shots through. There we go, he's actually connecting with a target.
Nice.
Beautiful play, attack ground there.
Does manage to reverse away, notices the threat. So great dynamic here. And I've got to call Hans out on that 2-2-2 decision. He knew that Cruzz was in an avenue where he had to keep building Katyushas, and he probably would keep building Katyushas. He guessed that his opponent would keep building them, and he's now taken out, I think, 3 Katyushas with scout cars. Fantastic work from HelpingHans.
Manufacturing capability has been increased.
Oh, by the way, Tier 3 is now an option for HelpingHans. Just got Battlefields 2 upgraded.
That is interesting. I wonder what he's going to be going for. Maybe he considers something like a Panzerwerfer or...
Assault Grenadiers did push away that Maxim, but now they're up against T-17. They don't have any form of recourse. Why is he staying in that? Neutralising the victory point, that's what he's doing, but he might now pay for it with his very life. T-34-76, by the way, on the field, Dan, so I was right when I said it 20 minutes ago, but it just took me 20 minutes to be right. Panzerschrecks getting pushed away. This is a great assault by Cruzz. Managed to take the south. Panzerfaust does go in, but there is no option quite yet because the pack is not in the picture. Elsewhere in the centre, the prepared line of Hans is still in operation. That's just how beastly his army is right now. I've got to say, the Pioneers are a good choice because that allowed him a lot of pop cap in other areas.
Yeah, they have been... nice capping with the T70 there, using the ability that he can cap, with Vet 1. Cruzzy can still win this. I just think his positioning's been off. So, you know, a couple of things have been really off here, and he still has a chance. He still has a chance. Just not making the most of what he's got right now.
I always think if you're a Soviet player and you're building vanilla conscripts at 43 minutes, it's not going too well.
No, I mean, the conscripts are going to be pretty vital to him because he needs to rush in with those, break up the lines a little bit, and get those engine damages on.
Yes, at least he has the upgrades, you know.
Yeah, and of course it's capping power at the end of the day. You can't be using your support weapons to cap. This could be a nice moment here if the 85 can get a shot to pass through the house.
Not phasing. No, yes. The Stug does, though. Taking great shots in on the mortar.
There we go. It actually connected another shot, and now the SU-85 has gained its first veterancy star. And again, this is Cruzz knows this. He's a tactician. He knows what the veterancy holds. You know that it's a key unit for him, and we hope. Look, watch him. He's going to be attacking ground now. He's just going to try hit the Tiger.
There you go. He hits it, but does not penetrate. Funnily enough.
Well, it did a little bit of damage, so don't give it too much out of that. But again, he needs to get the veterancy up on that. He's almost climbing up to half as well.
For the factory that makes SU-85s.
I do not. But the issue is like. This is a chance for people to have their eyes open to how veterancy works in this game. Because a lot of people don't seem to understand how effective things can be when they gain these. So definitely have a look out for this.
I've never seen an RTS where veterancy matters more than Company of Heroes. It pretty much is the largest single unique selling point of the game.
There's a mine there.
Oh, there's also a pack there, nearly destroying the T-34-76. Main gun destroyed. It's pathetic funnel now.
Cruzz starting to get back in this a little bit, but AT-70 horribly out of position,
trying to repair. Oh, nothing could stop it against the big bully Panzerkampfwagen 6. Ricochets off the main arm again. Does the SU-85? He's going to have to get up in the veterancy to retain the higher rate of fire, so it rolls.
It will even out then. The shots that don't pierce will even out with the
yes,
rate
exactly.
That is the general gist of it.
Ooh, good flank by the PPSHs. If they can get this pack, that's good. There's not too much around. There's only this MG, but no, he's suppressed. When you're suppressed, you cannot attain the support weapons of your enemy, especially when you're pinned. You can't even move. In the south, the big lumbering Tiger. Now on veterancy 2. I can't speak more about Tiger's veterancy. It becomes practically a Tiger ace when it attains veterancy 3.
Yeah, the longer this game goes on, the stronger it's going to be. He's going to need to deal with it soon. Getting another T-34. This is the 76 variety again, so clearly he's maybe thinking he hasn't got the kind of resources to spend on that, or maybe he wants to get back up to the Katyusha again with this build. It's quite possible that he's saving his
He's got
hubcap.
look at this. He's got a stolen Pack 40, he's got 2 Zis guns, he's got his SU-85. He has more than enough to deal with the Tiger, should he find it. This may be the moment. Will he get his anti-tank spare?
Yeah, needs to be careful with that 85 again. Micro is a little bit off. He's getting bad positioning with it. Stun shots in. Hands could attack ground. Instead, he's gone for the AT guns.
Oh, the Panzer Stretch could come to bear.
Cruzz, what are you doing? Oh, what a waste.
What a waste. The Tiger again gets the kill. It's a third of its way to veterancy 3 as well now. And that was just poor positioning and poor play, has to be said, by the Finn.
Yeah, he took his eyes off it. Clearly, the stun shot came off. I don't know whether he just gave up on it.
Oh, another shot in from the Tiger. Look at the kills on this thing now. 2 vehicle kills in a matter of 1 minute, and Cruzz throws in the towel against HelpingHans.
Yeah, sensible decision there, I think. Just bad positioning, really. All those AT guns in one spot. Could have lined up for basically anything. Very, very unfortunate that he couldn't pull that off, but there you go, Cruzz. He is the man of knowledge. Unfortunately, he was beaten by the man of skill.
The only thing he has knowledge of right now is the fact that he's just lost one game to
He knows the score.
He knows the score. That's the one thing he knows. He may not know how to play with an SU-85, even though he's a top-level player, but at least he knows the score, and that score is 1-0.
I've been battling with some people in the chat about the SU-85. Hopefully,
it's great. It's very situational, like a lot of things in this game. How many viewers do we have right now? We're still Twitch.
We have
page?
broke 1K now, so
that's
we are
good.
on 1006. Hello, everybody. Welcome to anyone who's coming from the Twitch front page as well. This is the ESL Grand Finals. We've done 3 months of this since January. Every week we've done the weeklies and 3 times the monthlies. This is the last one. 8 of the game's best players currently battling it out. It has in fact been 10 of the game's best players.
Yes, it has. Yes, 10 just about, because 4 for 2 places, wasn't it?
Yes, so for those of you that didn't know, at the end of last week there were 4 people who had 80 points in ESL. Jezelin couldn't play this week, and so 4 of them were fighting for positions 7 and 8. We had HelpingHans playing Talisman. That's why Talisman isn't here, and I think he's going to be a little upset.
Oh, so upset. He's been the meteoric star of ESL. He's done so well. NA originally had Space Hamster. We had our little Talisman, the Finnish guy, the warrior. And his buddy Moral Blurman is already out again to Helping Hands. He's just going through these practice buddies seemingly, and Helping Hands is looking strong today.
Yeah, he really is, and to beat Jove in the first, I mean, no one's expecting
Do you
Jove
want
to
to know
get...
something funny?
Oh, go on.
Helping Hands has never won a competitive elimination tournament.
What about that first ESL?
That wasn't a competitive elimination tournament.
Oh,
it was
really?
for no money. It was a round robin league system, and it was just the kickoff cup. So you could say he's won a cup.
This could be a big day for him. Really, I mean,
this is a proper competitive tournament. If he wins this, I would class it as his first tournament. What a better way to do it? Arguably, like the biggest stage Coming Heroes is going to get. ESL's grand finals. This is awesome. If he manages to do it now, it's better now than never.
I think, to be honest, he's looking today like a player that really deserves it. He's
looking strong.
Worked really, really hard to get to this point. No one was expecting. I think seeing that first bracket as it was today. Let's just go over to the brackets to show everybody how it's been so far. When you look at that, I was like, oh my god, Hans is luck again. Just where is his luck? That is his trademark thing. He's just categorically unlucky with these kind of things. And today again, he gets placed against Jove, and just wow, incredible to beat Jove 2-0. Then Devem with Nagano. Again, Nagano's been a huge winner throughout the tournament, always in the top 4. So both of those players, who probably were seeds number 1 and 2 at least, are just out straight away. We're left with a good crowd, actually. Helping Hands Cruzz is the one that we're casting at the moment. Love Nest Devem is currently going on as well, and I did have someone in chat saying that Love Nest is 1-0 up against Devem at this point.
Wow. Yeah, I just saw that series is going on right now. We are with the Helping Hands debacle. It's going to be an awesome battle, to say the least, against Cruzz. I'd love Cruzz to get one against Hands. I think Cruzz really needs to make a statement, and I think that would be a fantastic statement to make.
Cruzz is a very able player. He's made it into both the February and the March monthlies. He, I believe, got knocked out first in the last one, so he's already doing a lot better than he did in the last time. Beating Hans today, whilst Hans is on incredible form, would be a big trophy for him. So hopefully he's going to be fighting very hard for that. He nearly did it in that game. He did not make it easy for Hans at all, but Hans just very controlled. He's in much better grip of himself.
Control, but it's also the control of when he's aggressive, if that makes any sense. It is this game, if you want to know how to play it at a high level, I mean, speaking as a rank 400 player, no, but if you want to know how to play it at a high level or any level to win in 1v1 especially, it's poker. You've got your cards, you keep them close to your chest, you play for time, you play strategically, you fold when you're not going to win an engagement, you always battle on your terms, and when it's on your terms, you make a bluff, you dominate, you win, you become big stack, and that's what Helping Hands just did. He had a prepared position play, he was aggressive when he needs to be with 2-2-2s coming in, the Tiger coming in, probing, great play, and very excited to bring you the second game right about now. Let's get it on.
Well, just tell me which order they're in so I can update the scores before we go in. And let's have a look at that. That's the one.
So
just check player cards as well, if you don't mind.
Helping Hands.
Start doing that.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so Hans is on that side with one game in his already. Excellent. And whilst we're doing this as well, I'm going to open up another raffle.
You love those things.
Well, we have so many Commander codes to give away because, they're basically all the leftovers and so on from what we've had.
Yeah, they're nothing to us. We just give them away to you Twitch chat peasants. We've got loads of the things, honestly. I've been, rolling them up and making cigarettes out of them and all sorts. It's great.
Well, we've got, we're going to give away 2 this time. We've given away 3 already.
Wow.
I sent messages out to that. And guys, when you raffle this time, please send a message. ! Raffle, space, and then write whatever message you want. As long as it's PC, I'll read it out on stream. You can slam AE or myself, or you can give us some moral support for what we need for the rest of the day. But do give out a message if you want. I can see already that nobody's doing that, but whatever.
It'll take a second, they'll be there. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
There you go. No, there's some people are coming in now. This is good. So, yeah, we'll announce that. I think we'll give it this game, and then we'll do the raffle draws after this.
Yeah, sure.
If you do win a raffle today, I will send you a message that is just a full stop. That's just for me later on, so that I can go through my
Find you.
outbox on Twitch. And
You're a popular guy, you know.
I
Usually
am.
he's got a secretary Klug doing the work for him, but it's not happening today. It's manservant Klug.
He is, yeah. He's got his family here today, so it's can't.
You
do
let
it.
him have a family? I thought he was like orphaned at birth or something.
The poor guy. All right, are we going to get into this game?
Yeah, I think that's the gist of it, yeah.
All right, let's do it. We have got game 2 of the semi-finals, HelpingHans versus Cruzz, and let's jump in.
Here we go. So HelpingHans is Brits from the east. He's up against Cruzz, who is OKW from the west. I mean, we haven't seen OKW for 3 games. Have you missed them?
I have actually, yeah. I like the play style of OKW in the early game. I really do. The teching is a definitive thing, so it's the decisions always seem a little bit more harsher. And Austir's build is, you can go a number of ways with Austir. You feel like maybe, when you make a teching decision, it's not so locked down. You can maybe have a little bit of fluidity about it. With OKW, you have to do something with that. Do you know what I mean? You have to go something and you really just stick to it and overpower your opponent. And I do kind of like that, to be honest. Brits versus OKW, a good matchup. I do like that. Let's see as well, because Hans has the Advanced in Placement Regiment Commander.
Oh dear.
We hope that we don't see that, although it would be quite funny to see that.
It's funny for the first few minutes, and then after that, it's...
it would make it very difficult to
It's
cast.
like watching Civil Engineering the game. So it's like watching City Skylines 1942. It's like watching SimCity. I've just used every PG alternative to describe it I can, to be honest.
Nearly let out a profanity then as well.
No, that's just a list. That's how you say Stormless and stuff, Stormless.
But yeah, I mean, the interesting thing, it's an interesting one to have in his 1v1, because it suggests that he may consider using it, which is, whether he's putting it there for humour or just because he's genuinely serious, I don't know, but I hope we don't see it. We've also
really
got...
makes me laugh. Sorry, carry on, go on.
We've also got Mobile Assault Regiment. That's everybody's firm favourite for Brits at the
Yes.
moment, with the new unit, the Land Mattress. Really, really nice. Infiltration Commandos deal well. Actually, against the Austir, it's very good.
Do you know why it's called the Land Mattress? Because it puts your opponents to bed.
Capture point is being overrun.
Is that actually true?
No. It's like fighting talk for the Land Mattress.
Oh, okay.
But carry on, what's also great about this
the Infiltration Commandos, very good against Austir, normally if you're dealing with snipers pop out of buildings, 4-man squads, but the Land Mattress itself, very, very good at putting those rockets right behind the lines, dealing insane damage to support weapons. Against OKW, on a map like this, if you can corner them back into their own territory, it's a huge... huge advantage to have on the field. So I expect that's probably what we'll see. And Vanguard is just beautiful. Every single thing inside Vanguard is
useful. It's such a great commander.
As for Cruzz, of course, Breakthrough, yep, Scavenge and Luftwaffe, and
standard.
Yeah, they are the standard ones that you would load out in.
It's a great battle evolving right now. The battle lines are drawn. Both players have been quite well defended in the early game. HelpingHans is now embarking out under the watchful eye of his Vickers machine gun.
They're trying to take it.
He's actually shooting at the reinforced steel barricade right now. It's like Cruzz is probing. He, of course, is going to be have licked his wounds and raring to go now. He's got to make a name for himself. He's got to really push for this because he is 1-0 down in a best-of-3 series. And there's some trees down, some nice fauna.
The ability is ready.
So maybe get a grip of the camera there.
I just genuinely like trees. What's wrong with that?
This has been a difficult early game for Hans so far. Again, the British infantry, they rely on cover positions. They need to be a little bit slower, more organised about where they're moving. They have to pick a specific point to move. They can't necessarily move through cover easily. But when they do get into that position, they're very, very... big force to be reckoned with, and it's about slow capture of territory with what Hans doing right now. Three Tommies, the Vickers, and some engineers as well. The engineers should allow him some movement now. He should probably start being able to get a little bit more mobile. There we go. He's already gone in with mobile assault against Cruzz's Luftwaffe. So both of them have picked.
Is a beast with those commandos, mate. I saw him against Lovenest. He brutalized him. He waits for a retreat path and pops them out, just like Fallschirmjägers, but they're even more effective. Up close, they absolutely ravish retreating squads.
And Cruzz could have baited Hans in with a mine there. I'm surprised that that didn't go off, but Hans chose not to stay in that engagement. Very difficult, and
Rightfully so.
yeah, it was a good idea not to. I don't know whether he actually knew or intended for that to happen. Very quick upgrade to Flamers on the Engineers. Now, I don't really see that many opportunities for him to use this right now.
No.
We've got one MG here, but it's going to be able to suppress before Hans gets to it.
Yeah, it's in the wrong area of the map as well. He does have a few garrisons to contend with, and I always think flamethrowers, they always pay for themselves. If you can keep them alive and preserve them in a combat situation, it actually wins engagements more times than I dare to mention.
Here we go, the Engineers now trying to get up on the Kubel for some close range damage. This is Hans. He's got himself into a good position now. Managed to work his way around Cruzz a little bit, taken some important positions on the map. He has control of the church right now, control of Cruzz's strategic point, and still access to his own fuel.
Stern Pioneers!
That could be a big mine. Could be a big mine.
I think the Stern Pioneers going down there, a lot of players talk about that as turning points in games because they're such an expensive unit and they're such a relied upon unit. There we go. He had to rebuild straight away, so that's at the cost of 300 manpower.
Yeah. That's a shame as well. I mean, he's reinforcing those whilst Hans is getting the AEC, and that is 320, you know, 270 of that could have been spent on a Raketenwerfer that's going to help him. He now has no access to lane mines either. The AEC is going to have a really good time
life
right
expectancy for the Kubel is just absolutely, it's now 10% of what it once was. The AEC is going to go hunting.
Yeah, and of course with the infantry blowing up that mine in the south, the AEC probably realizes that it can go through that direction quite easily. I'll be probably expecting Hans to drive up that way.
Here it comes, the account eliminator car, the AEC. Such a strange looking World War II vehicle. I'm not actually sure of its pedigree. The company here has never minds about that. What looks cool gets in the game, and this looks cool indeed.
I mean, it's a really, really good unit as far as early game units go. Not many things have that kind of damage output on a light game, and of course the front MG is absolutely killer for infantry.
It's really good. They increased they obviously took away the main cannon's killing power for infantry, but they increased the hull MG's burst duration. It made it actually a really good all-round vehicle, to be honest. It's got a great role in the game now.
It does, and it adds direction to it. So if you want to get the best of both, you do have to consider the rotational position of that unit as well.
These Foes Grenadiers, just to call it out, Dan, have been in that building for a good 3 minutes now.
I think they're there to just potentially stop commandos coming out.
Okay.
That would be my guess on that. Possibly he's watched Hans playing. I've seen Cruzz around streams. He
all the
is
time.
Expecting that.
That's another thing that makes him a great game. He's a very watchful eye, does Cruzz. Retreat required there. Let's go check out on Cruzz's trucks. He's got the battle group headquarters. Second truck is building. Elsewhere, Hans. Still in platoon command post for now.
Yeah, I mean, Hans still doesn't have a vast majority of map control. He's got 2 VPs, which is important in starting to get that drain down over Cruzz. However, I still think Cruzz has the... I don't know, actually, they're starting to break even on territory now.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a
I see what you're
miscalculation.
saying. No, I see what you're saying. It's because HelpingHans has lost this territory sector here, which actually makes it like a jigsaw, a terrible jigsaw in Cruzz's favour.
Yeah, and of course, Hans is now putting a lot of focus. You can see he's just very slowly trying to work up onto that strategic point that cuts Cruzz off from his fuel. That's a life-threatening loss if he does actually lose that strategic point. With the, oh, look at this, nice incendiary going over the hedge into the building, trying to get those Tommies out.
Just as they finished healing as well, that's insult to injury.
Yeah, really nice. A good opportunity for him to run in now as well.
Yeah, he's going to do that and wait for the embers to die down and take that position. Oh, here comes the Kubel. I told you his life expectancy was low. As he goes hunting and finds the pheasant, but he's actually missed the mark for now. He's now seen the Schwerpanzer headquarters building, by the way, 50% of the way done. Kubel still alive, are you kidding me?
Wow. Yeah, it missed 2 shots actually. It was long range, so maybe that had something to do with it a little. Tier 4's gone up as well. Hans has now spotted it, but of course he wants to try and get rid of that. This is a dangerous thing to do with the Volksgrenadier.
Really is. If he keeps darting in and out and waiting for the reload, it could actually be quite effective.
Yeah, he's probably not going to win that. Needs to be very, very careful.
Tommies take the house, will gun them on retreat. Schwerpanz is up, Kubel.
Well, this is not
Against all the odds,
At
still
least
alive.
Cruzz right now has got control of the fuel and the strategic points, so he's securing himself for vehicles coming later on into the game, which is really, really good that he's managed to get that locked down. Hans maybe a little bit disappointed that he hasn't clocked onto that with some more infantry or had a chance to go in with the AEC. That being said, though, triple cap now from Hans. We're going to see the VPs equalize very, very quickly. 1 VP drain every minute under a triple cap. All Hans has to do right now is put up a decent defense on 3 VPs, and he can whittle Cruzz down probably a good
whittle down. He
150.
can pretty much smash through his victory point count on a triple cap. And that looks like likely to be Hans' avenue attack here. He's also got the mortar coming up. In a little bit of an exposed position. It's not quite as exposed as he built it against Lovenest in the games I watched yesterday, but it's still pretty... It'll reasonably reach around this area here, this northern VP. It'll be good, basically. Here comes the Kubel Dan, the survivalist. Somehow still a fixture in this game.
Not sure
About
it should
to
be
run
going
into
to take,
6-pounder fire.
Sure, it should be trying to take the AT gun. Although he's found a good position for it. It's out of the arc of fire. AC's trying to get a shot through the head with the tack ground. Hasn't managed to find that target yet. Google's actually doing some good damage against that AT gun.
It keeps missing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got shot blockers.
Yeah, it's hitting the tree, I guess, and it was attack grounding.
Look at that, though. Mortar pit. That's why Hans built it so
I
far
see.
forward.
Look
He's
at
now got it in a position where he's going to be firing onto the tier 4 building. His ambition is to take that down. It's a huge fuel investment, and it would prevent Cruzz from getting any kind of late game tanks, especially as he's gone for Luftwaffe.
I mean, he would be able to get Obersoldat and Panzerforce, Jagdpanzers, Panthers.
Oh, difficult one here. That's... Oh, it needs to be so careful. Could lose it. Wow.
That was a main cannon shot, a very accurate main cannon shot. Folks trying to do get the unstraight, but I feel he would have got commandos out of that hedgerow anyway. No, he wouldn't have had the manpower, so that was a last gasp attack by Hans, and he managed to pull it off.
Taking fire!
So the Kubelwagen's going to start using detection.
A gun crew has been lost.
Gun crew's been lost.
Yeah, I mean, that was the MG, I believe, that was on the north side.
Oh, okay. And there you go.
Wow. Cruzz didn't even put up a fight then. He didn't even want to. I think he knew. Yep, definitely think he knew that that was over. So there we go. Cruzz couldn't quite keep up with Hans. Hans is on fire today.
He's on fire, very much so. I mean, he's heading for a collision, though. He's heading for a big collision against the winner of Lovenest and Devem. What news do we have from the Western Front, then?
I will find that out in a second, actually. I'm just going to update some things so that we know who our first finalist is. Helping Hands.
HelpingHans is in a final.
He's in the finals again.
The final.
It would be quite nice, wouldn't it, if he got the first and the last, and it was like...
Yeah, the kickoff cup. But as I keep saying, it would be his first competitive, like, single elimination standard tournament win ever in 5 years of trying. That would be awesome.
Right, okay, let's have a look at the brackets as they are at the moment. There we go. We can see here's the first one. Let me just take those scores off as well. Been bugging me all day. There we go.
There you go.
First finalist. Wow. Wonderful to see. And of course, now we need to check out what's happening with Lovenest and Devem. With the last I heard about this, Lovenest was leading over Devem 1-0.
Do you know what? They're not in game right now, which either means it's finished or they're heading to a decider.
Let's ask my mods. GB Pirate, yes, we would see Love versus Devem if they're still playing. We need to have a look for that. I don't know if anyone's seen or knows of the scores so far. We'll try and contact our ESL admins for that to get a bit of an update. We do need to do the Commander, the raffle draw as well. So I'll do that now. First winner for that is, of course, Strumming Bird.
Oh, fixed!
I think we should
no, give
re-roll that
give
one.
him. It's fine. He's a nice guy.
I
Not
know,
that
I'm
big
just
of a
joking.
community.
I'm just joking. Strumming Bird is the first winner for that. His message was raffle.
Ah, raffle. That's always a good thing to say.
There you go, Strumming Bird. I'll send you a message now. It's just going to be 2 full stops. I will send you the proper message later on. And of course, the next winner is Hide the Pain. He's another one. He's a regular as well. A regular around here. So
This was a good mantra for any male as
there
well.
you go. He's the second one as well. So there you go. Those are the 2 winners for that one. We will have some more raffles after this next one. And at one point, we're just going to have to do a huge raffle. We're just going to have to do like
Mate, you,
10
you're
people.
all about the
in one.
huge raffles.
Yeah, definitely. So there we go. Those are the winners for this time. We'll reset.
Interestingly, DevM Lovenest still both in game. I can confirm there's no game ongoing, so I can only
Assume it's a game 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, one of them would have quit, really, wouldn't they?
And yeah, Lovenest is now in, having done 3. He's the only surviving out of Jove and Lovenest, the 2 big, massive juggernaut players that we all fear and respect. Lovenest is the surviving dinosaur out of those 2, and he's been through 2 best of 3s maybe now.
Yeah.
He's going to be fatigued.
He's going to be very tired, yeah. And, I mean, at least he had that 50-minute game against Price. Lovenest, you know, he's going to be a little bit good for that. DevM's...
Semi-finals of OCF was DevM Lovenest, by the way, I believe.
Was it?
Or it was a quarter-final. It was one of the big finals in his side
So
of the
they've got
brackets.
a bit of a play together to make, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Let's have a look. Do we have any contact with the ESL admins that we can just...
Oh, yeah, I
quickly-
do. I've got them on Steam.
Yeah, okay, let's have a quick look at that and see what's happening.
They're vetoing maps, so we're heading into a decider of the semi-finals. We've got
Brilliant.
one entire semi-finals, and now we're seeing the decider of the other. This couldn't be going any better.
No, it really couldn't. We've had games all over today.
We have
haven't
this on lockdown. You know, we are good at this. It's, you know...
We do, yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, it's nice that we can jump into these other games, the way that it staggers, because games are all kind of different times. And am I correct in saying they waited for everybody to finish the quarterfinals before?
So big
progressing to the
shout out
semis?
to Somenbjorn, ESL admin extraordinaire, our ace in the whole community referee that we got in there to help them out. He's been a godsend. He has genuinely done stuff like staggered the play and brought some Company Heroes gaming expertise to the ESL admin team that is highly valued. So yeah, big shout out to him for doing that. He's a godsend, yeah. But he can't hold his beer. He honestly drinks.
Neither can you. So.
I drank so much. He can only drink 1 beer, and he's had to go to the Action Unit, all kinds of things. It's crazy.
Right. Okay. So next game, I just need to quickly pop one of these.
Oh, we've got 4 minutes until the next game starts, by the way.
Should we load into it? I think we should.
Oh yeah, we'll load into it by all means, but we'll stay with our lovely
So game
faces.
2, don't know what map they were playing on
can we have a
first,
little
but the
break?
next one is...
Just have a quick coffee break, like 3 minutes, please, just to recharge our batteries.
yeah,
Yeah, we
we
need
can
it.
do
We
that.
need it. Trust me, we need it.
Oh, okay. No worries, guys. Apparently there's some minor emergency. It's probably in...
No, we
A's
just have been
trousers.
casting for only 6 hours, straight hours.
We're going to take a
3
3-minute
minutes, all we
break,
need.
and then we'll be back for Lovenest versus DevM.
See you in 3 minutes, guys. Do not go away. Massive decider to a big crunch semi-final right here.
All right, well, I'm back. Sorry to leave you on 0 seconds. A's still not ready yet, so you guys have the pleasure of just talking to me for a little while. I think whilst we're just waiting for him to get a coffee, we will do another raffle, and also we'll have a little bit of a vote to see what you guys think about today's tournament. So at the moment, we've got the last game coming up, Love Nest against DevM, and I want to know who you guys think is going to win. It's apparently been fairly even so far, so we will do a poll. Love Nest and DevM. All right, so that poll is open now. If you want to vote, and please do, it's !vote space Love Nest, or if you want DevM to win, or you think he's going to win, !vote space DevM. It should have come up on the screen for you just a moment ago. And yeah, as I say, very interested to see what your thoughts are on this. We're also going to do an interesting raffle in the finals. We trialed this the other day. It was really, really good fun. For the finals, we'll do a poll, and we will lock the raffles. So what I'm going to ask after this game, the 2 finalists, everybody's going to raffle, and in your raffle, you're going to put as a message the name of the person you think is going to win. And I'm then going to lock and close the raffle. Your votes are not going to be able to be changed. Then, when basically the finals are over, I will draw the raffle. And if someone wins the raffle and has the correct name of the person that won, then they will be able to get not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 commanders. I will give away five commanders to one lucky person.
She gotta hold Jim! She gotta take any more commanders!
She can't take any more commanders. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 5 commander giveaways as the big one. And then after that, we'll raffle away what we've got before we hand it over to NA, General's Gentleman, who will also be on Twitch front page. We're going to